Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Raymond Wise, and I'm the director of the African American Choral Ensemble, affectionately known as ACE. And as one of three performing ensembles in the African American Arts Institute, ACE specializes in performing music composed by, for, and about African Americans. And this afternoon, we'd like to share a few of the works that we've produced throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the piece you just heard was entitled Shine the Light. It is one of the songs that we recorded last spring at the onset of the pandemic. We recorded it because we wanted to encourage ourselves and others to help one another and be a light throughout these dark and challenging times. And with this song, we welcome you to our first virtual spring concert. We thank you for joining us and for sharing in this virtual concert experience. Now today, we'd like to share some songs of inspiration that will remind us that there is hope. And the one thing that we've needed over this past year is hope. And while the pandemic has stopped us from gathering together, it has not stopped us from singing and celebrating. But today, we celebrate virtually through music videos rather than a live concert performance. And with that said, understand that we are operating in this virtual platform and anything could happen. So the members of ACE are located all over the city and the state. So if we have a moment where something doesn't work, just be patient and we'll figure it out. But as always, I'd like to remind you that the African American music we present is what we call a collective art. So we give you permission to respond and enjoy yourself wherever you may be. You are free to sing along, clap along, rock, dance along, cry, shout, but by all means, celebrate this victory with us as we've been able to continue making music throughout this pandemic. Now, right now, I'd like to introduce the ACE staff. I have one of the most wonderful teams to assist me, and I'd like for you to meet them. They play an integral role in the success of ACE. So staff, can you join me on screen? We have Tislam Swift, who serves as our vocal coach. We have Tiffany Daniel, who serves as our road manager. Then we have Alonza Lawrence, who is our accompanist and our band director. And this year, ACE convened both on Zoom and face-to-face. And as you may know, due to what we call latency issues, it's impossible to sing simultaneously on Zoom. So we had to be creative. So staff, I'd love for the audience to hear your thoughts regarding our experiences this year with ACE this past year. So Tislam, can you tell us a little bit about the COVID safety protocol and your role as vocal coach?
Sure, it was a quite unique experience this year. Typically in a normal semester, we would, as vocal coach, I would warm the choir up. But of course, because we were not in the same place during rehearsals, that meant having 30-minute rehearsals per ensemble or per section, and each 30 minutes having to air out, sanitize, and making sure that everybody was 100 feet apart, even though we were in person for particular rehearsals, and even wearing singer's masks. And when the singers would line up before class, that meant making sure that each singer had a marked spot on the floor with chalk so that they could be within 100 feet apart.
Yeah, it was very, very different. That's 100 square feet apart. Yeah. Tiffany, can you share how the pandemic affected your role as the road manager?
As the road manager, it's my job to do the administrative side of things. So that's doing paperwork and anything along those lines. So because of COVID, we had to find new ways to do paperwork since we usually distribute a lot of things. All of that went virtual. We also had to talk to people basically more on Zoom and through GroupMe. We also had to work with scheduling and trying to find a way to try to talk to everybody and schedule everybody in a way to make it efficient so we could keep our social distancing guidelines. And also we had to spray and clean up after our areas and uniforms and costumes and everything with the range of transportation to just make sure everybody stays safe and healthy.
Wow, it was a very unique year. It was very, very different in this COVID area, in this COVID time. Alonza, can you tell us a little bit about the rehearsal process this year and how it engaged or affected you?
Absolutely. So normally in the ACE rehearsal, we would meet together in Grand Hall, but due to COVID protocols, we're not able to do that. So Dr. Wise took 3 classes for 30-minute sessions, and I took 3 classes simultaneously in a different location for 30-minute sessions. These were basically like sectional rehearsals, where the choir members only really got a chance to sing with the members of their section. And it took 6 classes to do that, singing for 30 minutes, airing out for 30 minutes, and so on. They actually were only able to come together for 2 times in the IU auditorium this entire semester. We can't hand out papers because of COVID protocols, so no music. And because of no live performances, I wasn't able to rehearse a band. So it was more so teaching, make sure everyone knew their part. And when they came together for those 2 times and in the studio, we had to get it done.
Well, thank you, Alonza, and thank you, staff, for all of your thoughts. And we just appreciate all that you do all the time. Thank you so much. Now, as some of you know, ACE was invited to perform the national anthem for the Indianapolis Colts game last fall. And the Colts organization has requested that ACE perform, many times in the past, but we've never been able to adjust our schedule to make it work. However, due to COVID-19, they asked choirs to submit video performances, which worked well for us because it allowed us to fit the project into our regular schedule during the semester. So I had a vision for the song, which took, a lot of coordination work and a lot of helping hands to produce. But our AAI family, they came together magnificently. ACE went into the studio. We recorded the audio tracks. We used various outdoor spaces set up across campus to record their individual and group videos. And then the video and audio footage that we produced was then combined with live shots during the game and aired in the Lucas Stadium. And then due to time constraints, though, we had to edit the song to 2 minutes. However, our original version was just a little bit longer. Well, today, we'd like to premiere the extended version. And as you know, the national anthem had become politicized in recent days, perhaps due to the NFL and Black Lives Matter protests. And it has always been problematic for African Americans due to that third verse, which says, "No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave." So I had to debate and question whether African Americans should even sing or perform the song at all. So we shared our concerns with the Colts organization, and they gave us free rein to be creative with our presentation. So diversity of thought allowed me to reimagine the national anthem from an Afrocentric perspective. It allowed us to take what was problematic and transform it into something that was practical. It allowed us to take what was highly esteemed as a national anthem and transform it into a cultural celebration for this current generation. I had to realize that this is my country too. My thoughts count, my voice counts. So how do I redeem this anthem? How do we reimagine it through a different perspective that reflects the anthem, yet celebrates and honors the lives of African Americans who have been oppressed in this country? Well, I could do that by making it my story. I could reclaim it and present it in a context that celebrated healing and hope rather than division and racism. Again, diversity of thoughts in the arts gives a place for me to think my thoughts and share my story from my cultural perspective. Thus, we did a gospel arrangement. Instead of just standing solemnly, we rocked and we clapped. Instead of sticking to the traditional form, we added a vamp and repeated the text, "And the home of the brave." Well, who are the brave? The brave are all those who've helped to build this nation. And that includes me and you. So we took what seemed bad or problematic to some and presented it through a different lens that demonstrated what it could be and established some common ground. And again, with diversity of thought, we could take what seemed acceptable and show how it needed to be changed and transformed to bring equity, healing, and hope to those who've been marginalized and oppressed. So today, through this video, we hope that ACE can exemplify the tremendous diversity that IU has come to support and that our nation must come to respect and celebrate. So with that said, enjoy the Star-Spangled Banner.
Who
Right. We want to invite a few of our ACE members to join us and talk about their experiences over the past years through the pandemic. So, can Nick, William, Mackenzie, Maya, and Wayne, can you join us on screen, please? Awesome. Thank you for joining us. We have a few questions that we'd like to ask you.
Nick, for you, what difference stands out between singing in ACE now compared to the pre-COVID times?
One of the big things is we talk about this music being a collective art. And with that, a lot of it stands out that, a lot of that collective art really comes from the creation that we do as part of a performance with an audience, with the people around us, and based off of their energy. So one of the big things that Dr. Wise would always do is to prepare us for that improvisation when we feel that spirit, when we feel that energy from the audience. He would always tell us before performances like, hey, I'm going to do this. And that means you're going to see something that you've never done before in your life. Be prepared. But part of that comes from the energy that we give, whether we're doing like some kind of stand up and speak out, or if we're doing something that's really bringing people out and energizing them and doing that over and over at the ending, or if it's something where we're singing like Balm and Gilead, where we're singing like about healing over and over again, to heal, whatever it is that that energy is bringing, whatever it is that we feel the audience is needing or wanting, or really fueling their good feelings from our performance, is something that fuels us as performers. And I've really missed that, but I hope that they can still feel a little bit of that today.
Thank you for that answer, Nick.
Absolutely. William, what was the most challenging part of singing for you in ACE this year?
Well, I think the first thing that I want to say is that even though it was challenging to sing in ACE this year, it was never a challenge to be a part of ACE. Being in ACE has been an absolutely wonderful experience for me. The most challenging part, though, is probably not being able to sing as a group and not being able to perform in front of people, like Nick mentioned. ACE has always been a wonderful source of spiritual maintenance for me. If I'm having a bad day, I always go to ACE in a massive rehearsal, and I always feel 20 times better leaving the door. So having only the small group every single week, while it's still great to sing with the tenors, it's not the same energy. So it's great to see the work that we've been doing all semester come to fruition in this concert, though.
Awesome. Thank you for your answer.
Mackenzie, what was most enjoyable for you this year singing in ACE?
This semester, the most enjoyable thing for me was when we had our opportunities to gather all together as a family, as a whole choir, as opposed to when we got to sing in our individual sections, which I also enjoyed. But, it's something that I miss being able to do every Monday and Wednesday. And so we don't have as many opportunities to do that. So this semester, that was something that I immensely enjoyed.
Thank you, Mackenzie.
Awesome. Maya, what did you enjoy about recording in the studio?
My favorite part of the studio actually was just the studio itself. I was a really huge fan of the space, and anyone who was in it with me would vouch for that fact, that I would not stop talking about it. It's in this location where there's a very old cemetery right outside with this huge old tree that spreads over the cemetery, and all these beautiful tree-shaped headstones from the 1700s. And a train that goes by every now and then. It's just so authentic feeling, and I loved being there. The train did sometimes interrupt recordings, as I've come to understand, because apparently there's no warning, but it was a really amazing, it was a Presbyterian church that had been converted into a studio, and it was just beautiful. I just really loved being there. A great opportunity.
Awesome. Absolutely. Thank you, Maya.
Marvin, how do you feel about the messages of our songs and how they relate to current and recent times?
I feel that the messages of our songs relate really well to our current times. And, this past year, especially, there's just been so much pain that so many of us have collectively had to deal with. And I think that these songs just remind us to hold on to the hope and the faith that if you don't give up, and push through, that we'll make it. And then additionally, if we spread love to one another, then in the end, we'll help others push through as well. And that's really what it's about, collectively all making it through.
Thank you, Marvin, for that answer so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Patton. Appreciate it. Well, this year has been challenging, right? I mean, seeing so many people die from social isolation and depression, we constantly ask, what can we do? We came to the conclusion that we can use our gift. So it has been our goal in ACE to use our gift of song to inspire and uplift others, to take courage, and to keep walking through challenging times. There's one of our signature songs that we always go to when we need to be encouraged. We thought it might be an encouragement if we recorded it, so we did. Those words say, walk on through the storm and through the rain, walk on through the hurt and through the pain, walk on when you feel all hope is gone. But the tagline says, don't give up, you can make it, walk on. That is our message for all of you and ourselves as we continue to walk through this pandemic. We hope and expect that we will continue and get through and find peace and joy on the other side of COVID-19. So walk on.
Walk on through the storm and through the rain. Walk on through the hurt and through the pain. Walk on when you feel the hope is gone.
Wow, what a powerful message. We certainly encourage you to walk on. And if COVID-19 were not enough, then soon after that, there was the murder of George Floyd, along with the many other African Americans whose lives were unjustly taken either at the hands of police or others who did not respect Black lives. And this provoked civil unrest. People of all races, colors, and creeds hit the streets worldwide to protest social injustice. And then again, the question was raised, what can we do? And the answer came back again. Use your gift to make a statement and to make a difference. So we'd like to invite a few more students to join us to talk about their experience in ACE and making that difference. Shannon, Emma, Marcus, and Gabby, can you join me on screen, please? All right. A few more students we're looking for. Hopefully they will get on in a second. We're looking for Shannon, Emma, Marcus, and Gabby. Are you on screen? There you go. All right, you're on page 2. Glad to see you. Thanks for being here. Can you guys help us? Can you tell us how being a part of ACE allows you to feel valued and seen for who you are? Emma, can you start for us?
Yeah, I feel like right away I noticed about ACE. Every time when we walk in, Dr. Wise always asks how we're doing and what's going on. There's a lot of, just it feels like a family when you walk in. Everyone's super supportive and super nice. And I feel like, I'm really a valuable member of like a team. And I feel like a lot of people show their love and appreciation for everybody as soon as they walk in. It's a super accepting group.
Wonderful. We're certainly glad to have you with us in ACE. Shannon, what about you?
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything that Emma said. ACE is incredible and it welcomes people from like all different communities, and every member feels special and important, not just by Dr. Wise, who always makes sure to ask us how we are, but by all of our family members in ACE. I remember last spring I shared an original song that I wrote with Dr. Wise, and he shared it with the whole choir, which was really cool. But it also was just so great because everyone responded so positively and just so supportive. And even outside of ACE, like with performances and stuff, everyone's always there to support each other and make sure that we know that we're valued.
Well, absolutely. You are valued. And we're proud of the compositions you're writing, and look forward to hearing even more. Marcus, how about you?
I just want to piggyback off of what both Shannon and Emma said. Being in ACE, it is like a second family to me, and also the encouragement that I get from you, Dr. Wise, and also my counterparts, Tislam and Alonza as well. The encouragement and the kind words give me both the confidence and also allow me to build on the skills that I need as a student at the School of Music outside of ACE as well. So that's very much appreciated.
Well, we are certainly glad to have you, and I'm excited about the greater things that are coming as you continue along with us in ACE as well. What about you, Gabby?
Yeah, so everyone kind of gave great examples, but I would just say, just as soon as I remember when I went to my audition, and you and me, Dr. Wise, had to go to the little piano room, and I had to sing for you, and any like little jitters or nervousness I had about like being an ACE just completely went away, because I just felt so welcomed and like just really felt your energy, and you feel that throughout, each class and everything and each performance, and it just radiates throughout the whole room. And like ACE is just, even if I'm tired, I'm never too tired to go to ACE. So, and Dr. Wise and Alonza and Tislam really, just really let us know that each of our voices are really special, and that, no one is better than anyone, and we're just all contributing to this, collective art and this feeling and storytelling, and it's really special.
Absolutely. Gabby, we are so glad to have you as well. Thank you guys for sharing your stories. Thank you so much. They are very important and we appreciate them.
Wow, that was great. The students gave some great insight about our ACE family. Now, Dr. Wise, I have some questions for you, if that's okay.
Okay.
First question, why do you do what you do? Like, what guides the way you work with ACE?
I think it all stems back to my mother and my father, Ceylon, Dexter, and Virginia Wise. They taught me to make everyone feel important. I think of this example. My brothers and I were riding in the car with my father, and there was this man staggering and stumbling down the street. And my two brothers and I, we were just laughing and remarking how he was drunk and making fun of him and everything. Then my father just stopped the car and said, stop laughing. And then he said, what makes you think he's drunk? He could be sick. He could have health issues or mental issues. And that taught me from an early age that you can never really tell by the outside what's going on the inside of a person. So we must respect everyone, get to know their stories so you can truly value them and understand why they do what they do. But then growing up with a mother who was a musician, I saw her teach anyone to sing. And I just believed that anyone could sing if given a chance. So I welcome folk who are not the best singers. Many of the members of ACE are not formally trained. They don't read music. Many have never had a choral experience. So what we do is teach, and we provide different levels of opportunity. For some, it's exposure. For others, it's experience. Then for a few, it's just a place to display the talents that they've already developed. Can't hear you, Tiffany.
Thank you so much for your response. My next question for you is, what inspired your creative process with ACE during the pandemic?
I think the first thing was that Dr. Sykes established 2 criteria for the directors. He said, 1, to keep everybody safe, then 2, to give students a meaningful experience despite COVID. Now, for students, first of all, to get out of the house and get off Zoom, that was meaningful enough for many of the students. However, we wanted to demonstrate that while COVID could stop us from meeting as a large group, it could not stop us from singing. And we learned through COVID that singing in choir was more than just making music. It was really about community. And when we were confined to Zoom classes, we realized that we missed our ACE family and the times that we spent together. So we had to reimagine ways to connect safely and maintain community. And through the process, students learned still to produce videos, how to record in the studio, but we found ways to maintain community, although distant and separated from one another.
Another question I have for you is, last spring, ACE made their first virtual choir video. Since then, ACE has created about 5 or 6 additional videos, but the process has changed. What inspired this shift in creative process? Oh, we would like to hear you, please.
I thought I unmuted. Well, as I said, when we made our video last spring, it came out wonderfully, and that was Shine the Light that you saw earlier. And yet I discovered that every student did not have access to technology to produce the highest quality video. So I envisioned a different paradigm. I envisioned creating a space for all the students to record in a common outdoor space at different times with the same background, uniforms, lighting, etc., where we could see their faces and expression and raise the quality of the videos. Now, it meant hundreds of hours, scheduling everyone, logging, and editing videos, writing scripts, storyboards, and all of that. But I did not want the quality of our work to suffer because we were in the midst of a pandemic. It took, the help, sacrifice, and cooperation of the entire ACE team and the AAI staff. And then, because all of our ensembles were creating video projects, our small staff at the Institute could not manage all the production. So we were able to recruit some outside helpers. Then I wanted to present more than just a music video. I wanted to tell stories as a mean of connecting with those who may be going through struggle or in need of encouragement. And at the beginning of every class, or at least at the beginning of the semester, I asked students, what makes a song so powerful? And the answer is that it tells a story. Then I asked, well, what makes the story believable? And the answer is that it's told with conviction. So the students have to investigate the stories behind each song, then find their own stories within the story so they can honor the story and sing with power and personal conviction.
Wow, that's amazing. One of my last questions I have for you is, how do you maintain a welcoming space and family atmosphere in ACE?
I welcome everyone, and I purpose to see everyone. Sometimes students need more than music. They need an environment in which they feel safe, they feel seen, and they feel celebrated. So I call their names one by one every class. I ask if they're gonna make it. I look in their eyes to see if they're really okay inside and not just outside. And yes, that takes more time and energy. It's not in the job description, but I want them to know that someone sees them and cares. And that's the basic problem in our world. People are judged by the outside and not the inside. People are judged by the color of their skin and not the content of their character. And until we see beneath the color of our skin, hear beyond the words that we say, and face the truth that we are all the same in one human family, we will not come together to see and value one another as equals. And well, this leads perfectly to our next song, which is entitled See Me. Enjoy it.
See
See me, what a powerful message. And we value the members of ACE, and we purpose to see each one of them for who they are. And we especially appreciate those who've been with us for several years now. And with that said, we'd like to acknowledge the members of ACE who are graduating seniors. We'd like for our graduating seniors to join us now on screen. Then, we'd also like for Dr. Charles Sykes, the Executive Director of the African American Arts Institute, to join us. All right, wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Sykes, for joining us today. Would you please greet the audience and share with our students as well?
Thank you, Dr. Wise, and thank everyone who tuned in to this wonderful end of the year concert. Thank you for being here and sharing in this experience. And I hope that you, like I, am inspired. I'm quite sure that you are. I'd like to thank the seniors as well, but before I get to you, Dr. Wise, we're here because of you. Those students are here because of you. And so while you're thanking everybody, let me say thank you for everything that you have done to teach, to inspire, to encourage these students, because they are what we are about. Our students are what we are here to serve. And you have done a great job of serving them and helping us to navigate through this unusual circumstance this year. So thank you for everything that you've done, Dr. Wise. Seniors, one of the things that we look forward to is to see those who come through our program be successful. So I want to say to you that I'm looking forward to you. We're going to miss you. Some of those faces I've seen for a number of years, but we're going to miss you. But we wish you the best. And I hope that there is something that you can take away with you when you go out to do other things. And so I'd like to have each of you to talk about what it is that you will take with you from ACE as you move out beyond these walls. I'd like to start with Tiffany, our road manager and choral ensemble member.
Hi, thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Sykes and Dr. Wise. I would take so much opportunities and experiences that we had here at ACE. Just overall the messages and the teachings and all that we learned, because with all of our songs, there's history behind all of them. And we've learned that, and most of that stuff we don't get introduced to in school or in history books. So that's what I'll take with me, and just this overall experience that I had here.
Thank you, Tiffany. Nicole, what will you take from this experience being an ACE?
All
Nicole?
right. I think Nicole is not on today.
She's not on? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Eric.
Yes, one thing that I would take from ACE is the importance of community while you're in new environments or trying to find your way in a new situation. I think that Dr. Wise, under his leadership, has done a really good job at creating a sense of community and giving a place for all students to come learn and grow who aren't just African Americans, and that range from freshmen to seniors. And I think it's a great experience that everyone should be welcoming to more people. You know, Dr. Wise preaches that a lot in his course, and I feel like that was one of the things, one of the biggest parts of ACE that I appreciated, and it kept me coming back for pretty much all of my 4 years here at IU. So yeah, that's one thing I really appreciate, and I feel like we should all remember that we had a community here, and we still do once we leave.
Thank you so much. Elise?
Well, I've been in the choral ensemble since I was a freshman. Leaving is a sad thing, but it's just a part of life, I guess. What I'll take with me when I go is all of the friendships and relationships that I've built here, and the family aspect, and also all of the teachings and everything that I've learned about my culture and the way that how beautifully it's been shared through music, and all of the relationships and all of the everything that I've learned here, I will take it with me and I will remember it forever.
Thank you so much. AJ, gonna miss your energy, by the way.
Thank you. I really want to echo what Tiffany and Elise said about what we learned. For me, I'm taking away in education. I decided to become a double major with African American diaspora studies because of ACE. I first started as a minor, and I took more classes, and I became a major, and now I'm going to go professionally study Black history, and I would not have that without ACE giving me that education and that introduction, and also giving me a place within my own culture where I felt I had a space to participate and to literally sing out loud our history. So thank you all for everything.
Thank you so much. Brianna?
Yeah, I like to echo whatever else is saying. I just think that there's so much love within ACE. I can't remember a time where I've walked into choir and Dr. Wise hasn't been like, "Hi, Brianna, how are you?" And to making sure that everyone is just okay. And the love that we have with each other within our little community is just astounding. Every time I walk into ACE too, I just feel like all of this weight just comes off of my chest because I feel, loved and safe in this community that we have created. And I think I'll take that with me for forever.
Thank you so much. Marley, we'll let you finish this with this question. What will you take from this experience in ACE?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go off of what everyone else said, but especially what Elise said with the connections. Not only am I going to take away like the opportunities, the memories, all of the spring concerts, potpourri concerts, but the connections that I've built while interacting with and being with all of the students that have been in ACE. I've been in ACE since I was a freshman as well. And I've made so many connections with people and people that aren't even in ACE anymore, I still reach out to. So I know I'm definitely going to keep those friendships for the rest of my life.
Thank you so much. We've been talking about COVID, and unfortunately, you as graduates had to spend your last semester working under COVID. So let's start with Marley. I'd like to know from each of you how you were able to adjust and adapt to this COVID learning situation this year. Marley, can you start again? We'll start with you.
Yeah, it was definitely different this semester. Again, I've been in ACE since freshman year, and like coming into ACE, there's every single section in the room. And when we rehearse and when we warm up, you hear every single section in the room and you're able to hear the harmonies and everything. And it's just a different experience than just being in the classroom and just having your individual section. So I think one way I've navigated through this is really putting my all into when we are able to go to the studio together and when we're able to like rehearse as a group in the auditorium together, social distance, obviously, but yeah, just being able to take, yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'd like to go to Brianna. I'd like to hear from each of you on that question. How were you able to adapt, Brianna?
Yeah, it was really difficult. I'm the same as Marley and Elise. I've been in ACE since freshman year, so it's been a long time, and it's just the aspect of the community that we always had when there was just like all of us in a room together, learning this music and performing, like it was taken away, and I feel like it was a little difficult for me to kind of get into the groove of having to, rehearse separately in sections. And so I was really constantly looking forward to when I could see everyone again, when we were in the auditorium or when we were in this, like the small studio, like some of us did like a small studio group where I could actually see members of the other sections and be able to finally like meet some of them who I've never met before and to kind of reunite with people who I hadn't seen for a long time because we haven't, been in a room together. And so it was difficult, but we managed, yeah.
Thank you so much, Elise.
COVID-19 has made things difficult, like for everybody in like every single aspect. And when it came to schooling, it was most difficult because the human interaction, especially in the choral ensemble, was like one of the biggest parts of it for me. I remember auditioning with Brianna and EJ, and they're all in different sections, and I can't see them every day anymore like I used to. And even though I love my section, it's different when you have the whole choir with you, when you can like hear everything all at the same time. But a way that I adjusted to this is looking forward to the days where we're all together. One of the most fun things that I experienced this semester is when we were filming our music videos all together, dancing together, doing the choreographies together like we used to. It reminded me of all of the previous concerts and all of the performances that we did together back in the day. I guess it's back in the day now. But yeah, keeping in contact with my ACE family and looking forward to coming to class every day really did help.
Thank you. AJ, would you like to add to that?
Yes, I would like to. So Dr. Sykes, you mentioned my energy, and for me, that was the most difficult part of adjusting was how do we draw energy from an audience that isn't there? And then how do we draw energy from people who are not there physically next to us? Marley and I have been standing next to each other in almost every performance for 4 years. And suddenly I didn't have her right next to me, and that energy we exchanged, and then also with the whole choir was gone. So figuring out how do I keep the same level, how do I keep the same quality of my work? Because even though there's a pandemic, people still deserve amazing quality from us. And as Marley said, just putting our absolute all into learning the music, so we didn't have to one, depend on each other, but also being incredibly confident in the music when we were recording so that the energy would come across on the recording.
Wonderful. EJ?
Yeah, I think one of the ways that I adapted was sort of switching the kind of effort that, that goes into the day-to-day with being a part of a group like this. That's kind of an extracurricular that involves, your physical being, your physical self, being around other people. And I've been in choirs and groups like this for quite a long time, but this is the first time I've ever got to do it like this. And for me, I like to see things as like, in a positive light, glass half full. And I said, well, this is a new experience. Now it's instead of a physical effort of showing up and standing, for long hours and all that, it was more of a mental effort of, reminding myself when to do things and, going there in person and taking, like the other people on this call just said, taking those times and really appreciating those moments when you could be together and taking them seriously. And one thing that motivated me in particular was kind of this moment right here on this big goal that we've all reached, this project, all these videos we put together. It was worth it. And for me, the building that up kept me going because I enjoy, a long project. I enjoy, kind of completing things. And I was glad I got to do it with these people one more time. And everyone else was so passionate and mindful to keep coming. And we put this together, and here we are in our red shirts. And I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of the concert because, we worked so hard for this. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you so much. And finally, Tiffany.
Yes, I think it was kind of interesting for me to answer this because I first started off with everybody on the screen. We all started as freshmen together in ACE, but I got a chance to move into this beautiful position of being road manager. So basically when COVID happened, it was just trying to find a way to do that community aspect of ACE. So like on the administrative side, I tried, instead of us having a retreat like we usually do, we tried to find ways to keep people energetic, to get a chance to know each other. And it's hard to do. Like everybody mentioned, it's really hard to do because everybody doesn't get a chance to see each other. And since we have like a huge ensemble, it was really hard. So it was just trying to find a way to have that balance and get back to make ACE seem normal, even though we're living in unnormal times. So that was pretty much it.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. Thank you all seniors. And again, best of luck to you. And again, thank you, Dr. Wise. And thank you all for inviting me to take part in this event.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Sykes. And just stay around with us, if you will, for a little bit. Can all of ACE join us on screen right now? Can all of ACE join us? All right, what we want to do is we just want to celebrate our graduates. So can we give them a hand and just give them a wonderful celebration? And graduates, what we do, we have for you a special certificate. and we will certainly get those to you. And it reads the African American Choral Ensemble 45th season, 2020-21. This certificate of appreciation is presented to your name in recognition for your dedication to the IU African American Choral Ensemble and service to its mission. May 2nd, 2021, signed Dr. Raymond Wise, Director of the African American Choral Ensemble. So we have those for all of you and all of the ACE members, and we will deliver them to you via email. And we just want you to know that we appreciate you, and you always have a home in ACE. We miss you already. And you're always welcome to return and make music with us. So thank you, graduates, and thank you, ACE. Let's show them again our love and appreciation one more time. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Dr. Sykes, thank you while you're here for acknowledging our seniors, but can you stay on for a little bit longer? I'd like to ask that the ACE staff join me as well. ACE, you can stay with us as well, but our ACE staff is here as well. I have one of the best support teams in the world. Tislam, Swift, Tiffany, Daniel, and Alonza, Lawrence. We could not do the things that we do effectively without their assistance. And it takes so much to make the ensemble operate smoothly. And we just thank them for the excellence that they bring to our program. Literally, these young people have worked so hard this year and always to provide a safe and meaningful experience for ACE. And they are such great assistants. They allow me to serve ACE more effectively. And when I'm required to focus on other responsibilities, I have no problems leaving them in leadership. In fact, I'm already grieving the loss of Tiffany, who's going to be graduating, and Alonza, who is nearing the end of his doctoral studies. And you guys must know that ACE would not be a success without your diligence and sacrifice. So we want to let you know that we appreciate you. And there is something in your room. If you will find that, there is a little special gift. If you look around, we have a special gift from ACE. ACE has put together some wonderful writings and words of appreciation for you. We have a special card and a special gift, and there's some other things there for you, but we want you to know that we really, really do appreciate you so much. And ACE, let's give them a hand. We love you and we appreciate you and thank you. And there's another special gift in there too that hopefully you will see as well. All right, now, as we said, we've thanked a lot of people here, but many of you may or not know that 2021 represents the 30th year that Dr. Sykes has been at IU. He's held various positions over the 30 years, but he has worked tirelessly to build the African American Arts Institute. And we did not want this moment to pass without commemorating the sacrifice and the hard work he has given to make the African American Arts Institute a success. So Dr. Sykes, you always go beyond the call of duty to help these students succeed and support us as ensemble directors trying to meet our various whims. And your efforts have not gone unnoticed. So we want to present you with a token of appreciation. And Ms. Charlene, can you help us out with that? So we have presented you with this commemorative plaque, and it reads, 30-year Service Award presented to Dr. Charles Sykes. Thanks for your loyal and dedicated service to the African American Arts Institute and Indiana University. Your leadership and valuable contributions throughout the years are greatly appreciated, 1991 to 2021. So thank you, Dr. Sykes. ACE, give him a big hand. We appreciate you. We love you, and we thank you for all that you do. And I believe that I think Tislam and Alonza want to share just a little something with you very quickly.
Thank you.
Tislam?
Hi, Dr. Sykes. So many people don't know about this, but in about 2016, I was still working as a graduate assistant for the Neil Marshall Black Culture Center, and that was the semester before the Choral Ensemble had a chance to go to Germany for a week. I was not yet in the Choral Ensemble. I wasn't in the Choral Ensemble that semester, and I was not going to go because I didn't have a passport. I could not afford to pay for the passport. And Dr. Sykes called me on my cell phone. I was having a really bad day, and Dr. Sykes called me and said, Tislam, I need you to come get this money to be able to go get the passport. Go get the passport so that you can go on this trip. And that to me was just this example of grace, an example of just this person who always extended their hand and extended just support for a student who needed it in a very necessary time. So Dr. Sykes, I want to say to you, thank you for always supporting me over the years. And always, having your door open. Oftentimes I came up to the Institute from the Neil Marshall to pick Dr. Sykes' brain. And he was always busy, always working, but never was too busy to answer questions and offer me support and love. So I want to say to you, thank you for that. And I hope that we get many more chances to collaborate and work together. So thank you, Dr. Sykes.
Awesome. And
Alonza.
Dr. Sykes, I have plenty of things that I could say, but I'm going to narrow it down to very quick two. Same situation, Germany, preparing. I had just quit my job, working the graveyard shift, doing night audit for the hotel, trying to make extra money for Germany. And it was a pretty rough time. It was a new band that was going, and we had not played together. So we were rehearsing every night until the wee hours in the morning, until it was, ready to go. And I still didn't have much to take with me. And Dr. Sykes called me into his office and not only wrote me a personal check for money, spending money to go to Germany, but also every member of the band. But on another note, Dr. Sykes will go to bat for anyone that works under him. And I know that firsthand. So most masters are 30 to 33 credits total. My master's, as many Jacobs School of students who are voice students know, is closer to 60 credits. And that is because we are required to take 8 credits of French, 8 credits of Italian, 8 credits of German, plus everything else on top of the other required credits. And the government thought that I was trying to be a full-time, lifetime student, and they cut my funding immediately, right after Germany, actually. And I still needed funding, for school. And Dr. Sykes went to bat for me when Jacobs kind of gave me the direction to go. Dr. Sykes took it upon himself to go above Jacobs, even to the provost, to make sure that I had my funding for that semester. And I am extremely and eternally grateful.
You're welcome. You deserve it.
Wonderful. So, Dr. Sykes, we just want you to know that we appreciate you. And we could not let this moment pass. We know that you would not have said anything or really made a big hoopla, but we know that 30 years is a long time. And we just wanted you to know that we appreciate you. And even to the ACE staff, we appreciate you. As I said, I'm already grieving the loss. But the next video that we're going to present is entitled Because of You. And we'd like to dedicate this video to you, Dr. Sykes, to you, Tiffany, Tislam, and Alonza, for your faithful servants. And without your sacrifice and your efforts, we know we would not be here today. And a lot of the students who've come through the African American Arts Institute would not be successful. And we would not have made it through this year without all of your help. So we just want to say thanks for all you've done. Thanks for all you do to make ACE and the ensembles a wonderful success. And we just want you to know that we appreciate you. And much of our success, as this song says, is because of you. Let's watch the video now.
Experience goodness, faith, and hope because
Thank you. Ace, can you come back on screen? All of Ace, come on and join us, and let's give them a round of applause, and let's thank them for all that they have done. Thank you, Dr. Sykes. Thank you, Tislam. Thank you, Tiffany. And thank you, Alonza. Know that we appreciate you and we love you, and thank you for all that you do. And we know that much of it is because of you. Thank you. Thank you, Ace. Now, today marks a historic moment, for this is our first virtual concert that ACE has ever presented. Now, because of the nature of creating a virtual presentation, we're not presenting the usual 15 songs. It's different not seeing people in the audience, but we know you're out there. So we thank all of you for coming and for showing up and being a part of this experience. Now, typically, students will invite their parents, their friends, and families to come to the concert, to even sell tickets. And we often have a prize for the student who sells the most tickets. And today, we thought it might be fun to see which student has invited the most people to join us online. So now we need your help. Now, right now, we're going to share a Zoom poll. Now, in this poll, it will list the names of all the members of ACE. And what we'd like for you to do is to check the name of the ACE member who invited you to today's concert. Now, the way this poll is set up, it doesn't allow us to put all the names in one poll. It makes us ask several questions. So if you don't see the name in that section, say none of these folks and go down to the next question, invite, and check the person. You can check more than one if more people invited you. But what we need you to do is go ahead and check the person who invited you today, and we're going to see which student invited the most people. Okay, go do the poll. Now, while you're doing that, I'd like to offer some special thanks to the Office of the Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Multicultural Affairs. I'd like to thank Dr. James Wimbush and Elizabeth Blevins for your support. Thank you so much. I'd also like to thank Dr. Carolyn Calloway Thomas, Department Chair of the African American and African Diaspora Studies Department. That's the home department of our ensemble courses. And we'd also like to say a special thanks to the AAI staff, Hannah Crane, our events and communication specialist, who's behind the scenes, who helps all of our ensembles to succeed. We'd also like to thank her team, Mia Beach, Neffy Morris, and we'd like to thank Jerica Stocker, who's our office administrator, who's helped this semester with PPE and singer's masks and all the administrative needs that we have. We appreciate you and could not do it without you. Then we want to say thanks and congratulations to our colleagues and fellow directors in the AAI, Professor James Strong and the Soul Review, and Baba Stafford Barrett and the African American Dance Company, who've also persevered through COVID to present some outstanding performances. And if you didn't catch theirs, you need to find those links and see those as well. But then we want to thank those who provided space for ACE to rehearse and record this past year. All right, so thanks to the Neil Marshall Black Cultural Center, Gloria Howe and Tim Womack, who ensured that everything was set and in place for every class. We also thank the IU Auditorium staff, Maria Talbot, Brian Oakley, and their team, who allowed us to rehearse in the auditorium several times this year so that we could bring the entire group together. Those moments together were priceless and much appreciated, especially during this COVID season. Then we thank the City of Bloomington and Switchyard Park, the IU Arts and Humanities Council that coordinated with us to use the performance spaces all over campus. So we're just so grateful that everybody has helped us to make this happen. So let me see, do we have any results? I see a name in the chat, and is that the name I am seeing coming up? Starting with the T, is that correct, Tiffany? All right, well, okay, I have the results. Based upon the poll, the winner for today's contest is Tislam Swift. So Tislam invited the most people to today's concert. So congratulations, Tislam, and you'll receive a special prize. We will be in touch with you soon to deliver that special prize. So we say thank you to you, and we appreciate you for being so diligent in sharing and inviting folks to come and be with us today. Okay, we're getting close to the end. Have you enjoyed yourself this afternoon? I hope you have. And before we present our final video of today, we have a couple more thanks that we'd like to provide. Now, if you've enjoyed the music and the videos you've seen today, they could not have come forth without a lot of hard work and hundreds of hours, literally, of labor, sacrifice, and commitment from this beautiful group of young students and a stellar team of technicians, engineers, and videographers. I'd like to give a special thanks to ACE for the hundreds of hours they spent recording videos and rehearsing in small groups while seldom ever seeing each other or even being in the same space. And that right there really is amazing. I'd also like to say a special thanks to the technical team who helped to make this virtual concert possible. First, I'd like to thank Johnny Campbell, our technical supervisor at the AAAI. He works tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that all of our concerts are a success. And he's our kind of everything man. And he always comes through for all of us. So Johnny, we want you to know we love you and we appreciate all that you do all the time to make the AAI a success. And also thanks to Anna Malloy and Mia Wagoner, who serve and work on your team as well. Then I want to give a special thanks to Jacob Belser. When planning to do the videos for the Colts game, it was recommended that we use a professional sound studio to produce the audio tracks. But due to the demand for studios on campus, we had to find a studio off campus to work with our schedule. And we discovered Primary Sound Studio here in Bloomington and found a new friend and partner, Jacob Belser. He served as our engineer, and he, along with Johnny, worked to create a safe space in which we could record safely with social distancing. And Brother Jacob, we want you to know we appreciate your work, your sacrifice, and the countless hours, literally, you contributed to this project. Now, all of the songs performed today are original compositions that I composed and I've performed with ACE over the past 8 years. However, to assist with the production, I sought one of my good friends, Frank Cleveland from Dunamis Productions in Melbourne, Florida, to arrange and produce the musical tracks. I would send him my piano tracks and he would take it from there to transform each song into a masterful arrangement. And Frank Cleveland also did the mixing and mastering, and he was assisted by Ken Andrews, who helped in some of the mastering, but Frank is actually with us today. So Frank, can you join us on screen?
Hello.
All right, there he is. I have literally known Frank for almost 40 years. When we first met, Frank was a teen and played drums for the church at which I served as a musician. He grew up playing and recording with me in Ray's Productions Choir, and then went on to perform, develop skills in playing bass and organ and guitar and everything. Has performed literally all over the world, served as a musical director for numerous performing artists, and I'm so glad he consented to help us out. So Frank, welcome. We welcome you to the African American Arts Institute family. Can you tell us a little bit about your process and what it's meant to be a part of this project and help to bring this music to life?
Absolutely. Let me share with you this. I had to change my shirt because I saw that all the members of the family were in red. So as soon as I saw that, I had to go and find a red shirt because I feel a part of this group. Because I have heard your voices, but it's wonderful to see the faces with the voices. Before I answer that question, I want to use this opportunity to thank you, Dr. Wise. And let me echo Dr. Sykes with what he said. We would not all be here if it wasn't for you. And one of the things that I want to share is Dr. Wise has given a little history of our involvement. When I was in just as a younger cat in high school, I met Dr. Wise. You all know him as Dr. Wise. I know him as Raymond. And so I'm going to go ahead and call him Raymond for the moment. When Raymond and I first met, he was my Quincy Jones. When Raymond and I first met, he was my Donald Lawrence. When Raymond and I first met, he was all the popular artists that you all as young people know today. But like Dr. Sykes said, we would all not be here before if it wasn't because of you, Dr. Wise. And let me tell you, the same way that all of you have expressed that Dr. Wise, I know him as Raymond, has treated you all in rehearsal, that's the way that he treated all of us in Columbus, Ohio, with the Ray's Production singers and all the musicians. He has showed no partiality. He has only shown love. So Dr. Wise, Raymond to me, and he's also my mentor. I want to congratulate you and celebrate you on today, because if it were not for you, none of this would have happened. And just to let people know, this is a very hard task to do what was done. He makes it look easy. But when you have to coordinate schedules for working professionals across the country in order to go ahead and unify to make this happen, along with not having, and one of the things I want to emphasize is this whole choir never rehearsed together. These were only sectional rehearsals. So they had no idea of how to blend together in order to make the sound that you all have heard during the recording. So it was with Dr. Wise's genius, and I don't use that word lightly, he was able to remember all of the sound of everyone to make sure, and his assistants could go ahead, and his staff can go ahead and rehearse the group. So when they got together for the first time in the studio, they would create synergy. So I wanted to go ahead and emphasize that because of the fact that it does not need to go unnoticed. Your work, and as we say in the church, your labor of love that went into this. But my experience was very interesting. I've worked with several people. I work with several artists all the time. And with what Dr. Wise did was he sent his MIDI files to me, which was basically, in layman's terms, a word file, if you will, with him playing on it, and I was able to decipher through the miracle of electronics what he played and add sounds to it. So what happened was this: I, being a student of his, and as all of you know who are students of his now, Dr. Wise can be very anal about some things. And he gave me the perimeters in which I had to work. And I tried my best to work in the perimeters to hear what he was hearing and to create something that was masterful. One of the things that was exciting for me as a mentor was him to be able to trust me in order to bring apart his musical ideas. Sometimes he was like, I don't know. And I know the students are laughing right now because you all have seen that look that, I don't know. But he trusted me enough to do it. And I am honored to have that trust. I work with lots and lots of groups that do virtual choirs, but I want to let you know that this by far has been my favorite group because of the fact that all the students, even though you never rehearsed together, you all did it in excellence. Let me say that again. You all did it in excellence and professionalism. And I want to thank you as the final person that got that, to be able to get your performance, to be able to have put it together to make it sound like you all were together all year. So it was a challenge because I don't know you, but through Dr. Wise and us, our conversations, I feel like I've known each and every one of you sonically because I was able to put everything together.
That is wonderful, Brother Frank, and I'm so glad that you are a part of this, and I'm so glad that we were able to bring it all together. Now, Frank will actually be helping us with a new CD project that will include the music you've heard today and 5 additional songs. The CD project is going to be entitled Inspire Me. If you notice, the ACE members have on t-shirts that say Inspire Me, and it will be the first of many recordings released on the new African American Arts Institute record label. And in light of and in response to COVID-19 and in social injustice that we continue to see throughout the nation, we wanted to create this album project that could provide hope and encouragement and inspiration. And this is one of the ways we could use our gifts to make a difference. So if you've enjoyed the music today and it's inspired you, consider even making a donation to ACE to help us finish and release this project to inspire others and to continue the legacy of ACE. Thank you, Brother Frank, for joining us. We appreciate your work and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you. And keep doing what you're doing, because it's going to touch generations. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, that was the musical portion. But if you enjoyed the video, we must thank the numerous videographers and photographers who recorded the individual singers, group footage, and the still photography. Now, special thanks go to Deanna Weatherly, Myron Russell, Deschanel Booker, Danarian Brown, Mia Beach, Sophia Hay, Peter Balsam, Hallie J, Evelyn Sanchez, Alonza Lawrence, and Peyton Womack. Now, we thank then the editors who assembled the footage into these wonderful presentations. We thank and acknowledge Danarian Brown, who did our first video, Shine the Light. We're proud of his work. We also thank Deschanel Booker, who just this week agreed to edit the wonderful tribute video for Because of You. She is one of our graduating seniors of whom we are very proud. Deschanel, thank you so much for doing this piece, and we look forward to seeing your work that you're going to do in the future. But then I also want to give a special thanks to Ceylon Wise from Two Wise Productions, who masterfully edited the videos for the national anthem, the long and short version, See Me, Walk On, and I've Got a Robe. And Ceylon is another one of those who I've known since he was born. He's actually my nephew. I'm proud of his work and glad that we were able to bring him into the AAI family. And this concert would not have been possible at all without the expertise and creativity of these gifted artists and editors who embraced and realized my vision and endured my idiosyncrasies. So we thank all of those who helped with the music and the video. Now, got a couple announcements. We're almost done. First, I would like to announce that if you enjoyed our performance, ACE will be accepting new members next semester. Hopefully, we'll be back singing face-to-face in the fall, but if not, we've proven we can do it even through a pandemic. So if you sing and you enjoy singing, you need to come and join ACE. If you're not singing with anybody now or used to sing in high school or church choir, and you're still here on campus, come on, join us. We'd love to have you as well. Come help us make a difference and change the world through our music. We'll have auditions on Monday, August 23rd, 2021. That's generally always on the first day of class between 3 and 5 p.m. So look for the link. We'll send that information out and we'll welcome you to come and join us as well. I have another announcement. I'm very, very excited about this. In the fall of 2019, ACE recorded a PBS documentary film entitled Amen, Music of the Black Church. Now, we learned earlier this year that it was accepted by American Public Television for national distribution to PBS stations all over the nation. And since that time, it is aired in major cities all over the country. Well, we just learned this week that it's been nominated for an Emmy Award. So we are so proud of ACE and the work that they are doing in our community. And that is a wonderful honor to be nominated for an Emmy. And if you didn't get to see it, it is now available 24 hours, 7 days a week to view, also on the WTIU website. And it's also been released on DVD and Blu-ray. So you can also find those links as well in your chat, and we will send those things out to you as well. So look for those, and we are so excited about that. Now, finally, we're almost there. This year represents the 45th anniversary of the African American Choral Ensemble. And we honor the legacy of all those who built this foundation upon which we stand today. We honor the various directors, Dr. Melanie Burnham, Dr. Michael Gordon, Dr. James Mumford, John Williams, Dr. Keith McCutcheon. We also honor the hundreds of ACE members who have lifted their voices in song since that 1975-76 academic year. Now, normally for the anniversaries, we would have a big celebration and invite everyone back to campus. And of course, we could not do that due to COVID. So as we thought of presenting a virtual concert, we wanted to acknowledge the anniversary in some unique way. So we thought it might be nice to invite a few alumni to join us for our final selection. We sent out emails to the alumni and invited them to join us for a special Zoom rehearsal at which we taught the song we planned to use for the closing selection. Well, several alumni showed up, representing several decades of ACE and the various conductors of ACE. And we had ACE members then submit videos who now live in Korea, Brazil, Seattle, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., Minneapolis, Ohio, and Indiana. And while at the rehearsal, one question that I asked was, what was your most memorable moment in ACE? I encouraged the alumni to give us only one moment because I understood that there were probably so many moments that we would be there all night talking about them. Well, the alumni in attendance gave some beautiful pictures in ACE history, so I thought it might be nice before we end tonight's concert and share their video to have a few of them share those memorable moments with you today. So tonight we have a few alumni with us, and we'd like to invite the ACE alumni to join us on screen. ACE alumni, can you join us on screen now? All right. Welcome. We are so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for joining us today. As you speak, I'd like for you to do this for us. Can you give us your name, your class year, the director with whom you worked, and then give us your most memorable moment? Let me see, who's first? Bernita, how about you?
Good afternoon, Dr. Wise, and happy anniversary, ACE. And thank you for this opportunity to participate. My name is Branita Griffin Henson. I'm in Washington, D.C., and I was a part of the Afro American Choral Ensemble, as it was called then, from 1977 to 1980. So I'm probably, if not the most, one of the most senior alumna to participate in this activity. I was under the direction of Dr. Melanie Burnham at that time, and I was honored to be able to perform and participate in both productions of Porgy and Bess, which was a great honor for Indiana University to be able to do a full production of that wonderful opera. So thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sister Brenita. We're so glad that you reconnected with us. Thank you so much. Eva, what about you?
Yeah, my name's Eva, and I was in ACE from 2018 to 2019, so I think 3 semesters total. And my favorite memories were definitely the times in concerts when we didn't really know what was going to happen next. I think, you know, we just were at the beck and call of whatever you were going to direct us into. And I think in particular, the song Open Your Mouth and Say Something stands out because the ending is it's pretty grand. And there were just many times where we didn't know it was, or we thought it was over. No, the whole choir didn't know it was going to come up again. And then over and over, Dr. Wise just kept bringing us back in, counting us back in. I think it was about 5 encores, and each one was still just as fun. We probably could have kept going, but we had other things to sing. So yeah, I think those were just so fun, and just the thrill of being surprised and, oh, here we go again. It was so fun to do that together.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Eva. We're so glad that you were with us and glad of the work you're actually doing as well, where you are. Yukari, what about you? Tell us.
Hi, my name is Yukari Shinagawa. I spent almost 7 years as a member of ACE, joining my PhD student in the Department of African American Diaspora Studies until I graduated in 2017. And I perform in the choir under the direction of Dr. Keith McConaughey and Dr. Wise as well. I still remember the time I auditioned for the ACE, and Dr. Keith McConaughey told me the welcome to ACE, my Asian sister, and after my singing. So as some students already have said during this concert, I love the fact that ACE and African American Art Institute itself always welcome everyone who would love to learn African American performance art. And I remember Dr. Keith McConaughey especially often challenged us to perform songs that have jazz elements, which definitely taught us the depth of African American religious music. And I also appreciate Dr. Wise giving me, continuous encouragement and the moments to shine on stage over the years. So I'm very grateful that I was a part of ACE.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yukari, we're so very proud of you and your dissertation work that you've done on gospel music in Japan, and even your teaching down in Atlanta. We're very proud of you. Thank you for being with us. Dominique, tell us your story.
My name is Dominique Walker. I was in ACE from 2013 to 2016 under Dr. Wise. My favorite memory in ACE was the Germany tour. That was kind of my last hurrah because I graduated on May 7th and we left on May 8th. So just getting to sing in a lot of beautiful churches. We got to sing in a castle even. We got to hang out in the Alps in Hamburg and Berlin. So that was really fun for me. So there's a lot of great memories, but that's definitely my favorite one. It's like I said, it was my last hurrah. So, and I almost wasn't able to go because I remember I had a class from 2:30 to 3:20, and our rehearsal was from 2:30 to 4. And Dr. Wise needed me for one concert because I think he was short on tenors at the time. And when I was there, somebody mentioned something about a passport, and I'm like, passport? What do you need a passport for? So I was nosy and I asked, and they said, oh, we're going to Germany. I was like, well, let me put this in my schedule, make this work. So, so I was able to go. So that was definitely my favorite memory in ACE.
Well, wonderful. Thank you, Dominique. We're so glad and proud of you. Dominique used to be very, very soft-spoken. And over the years, he just came out and became very bold and just singing powerfully, leading in the tenor section. And we're so proud of the work that you have done and for being with us. Thanks for sharing today. Kalea, what about you?
Yes, my name is Kalea Awayemi. I was an ACE from 2013 to 2017 under the direction of Dr. Wise. I was an alto too for the whole 4 years, so go Altos. I would say my most memorable moment was probably the Germany tour as well, specifically when we went to Leipzig and there was like a Gothic festival going on at the time. And before our concert, before we sang, actually inside the church where Bach is buried, that's his burial site, we got to sing in the square, and then we just kind of had a following and they followed us into the church, and it was a really cool experience. They didn't necessarily have to know what we were saying or what we were singing, but they did enjoy the music, and music does obviously connect us all around the world. So the Germany tour was definitely a memorable moment.
Wonderful, wonderful, Kalea. Thank you so much. We are so glad to have you guys with us today. There's one more alumni who was scheduled to be with us, but at the last minute, they called him into work. And that's Brother Clifton Stephanie. So he actually did a little short video. So if Miss Hannah can play that for us, we will do that. And then we'll move on to our finale.
My name is Clifton Stephanie. I was a member of ACE in 1984, 1985, and 1989 under Dr. Mumford. My most memorable moment with Dr. Mumford happened actually after I was done with Choral Ensemble in 2017. My daughter Leah, who was a part of Choral Ensemble after meeting Dr. Mumford, but she did a paper on him. So we went to his house and he told her his life story and how he became a part of Indiana University. And then he told her stories about me. And I think that sparked her interest in Choral Ensemble, and she joined about a year later.
Wonderful. It's a great story. And what he did not say is a couple of years ago, while Leah was still in the choir, we did a special thing and brought alumni back, and they both got to sing an ACE together on the same concert. So we thank him for that. But these are the types of experiences we strive to create. As you notice, while the students are talking about my tenure here, this has been a long-term thing with ACE. It's always been a family, and that sense of family and community has been established from its beginnings. And we're so excited that ACE is celebrating its 45th anniversary this year. And we're looking forward to being able to release the CD project as a result of that as well. But as we close, we're going to end with one of our signature songs. I arranged the song back in 1987. And since that time, the song has become one of the signature songs that I teach to every choir with whom I work. And ACE sang it at our very first concert in 2012. And since then, it's become one of our favorites as well. And this song is so special because it speaks to me of inclusion and equity. And the song speaks of a day when all of us will be treated fairly and all of us will have everything that we need and nothing will be denied. The words say, I've got a robe, you've got a robe, all of God's children got a robe. When I get to heaven, gonna put on my robe, gonna walk around heaven all day. And we had an enjoyable time making this video, and we hope that you enjoy it. So join us by rocking, clapping, singing along, and celebrate and sing with us. I've got a robe.
Children
Can Ace join me on stage very quickly? All of Ace, join me on stage. I've got a robe. You've got a robe. All of God's children got a robe. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed that. Ace and everybody, all of our guests, join me on stage. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, thank you. Alumni, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed seeing yourself in the video. Again, we say thanks to all those who helped to make these productions possible. But on behalf of the African American Choral Ensemble, we just want to say thank you for joining us today. And we hope that in some way you have been inspired to make a difference. So thank you and good afternoon. And we hope to see you soon, perhaps in person. But if not, we'll see you virtually as well. Have a good night, and we'll see you next year. Blessings. Thank you for joining us today.